all-woman squad, huh? I ain't about to kill these bitches. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Let's take these motherfuckers out. I'm dealing with Artemis. Just want y'all to know. Everybody wants some easy kills, stay around me. I piss people off. They want to attack me. Start talking some buku shit. Yeah, I know you heard buku in your everyday vernacular, but fuck it. This is Louisiana. We talk buku shit. Set out some of these vine traps, teammates. Y'all ain't got to move. I ain't fighting nobody.
Eastern Conference is just throw the cards up in the air right now. Oh, Allen Iverson, what a move! Allen Iverson makes it 95-90. Iverson, very tough defender, not long. Iverson going one-on-one, accepting the challenge, and as they say, breaks the end.
This gets to the ground.
Minutes left in the third. Rice. Here's a three. Big one. Big one. Nice play, grand long. Rice. Four. Get him out the ball. Play put us by one. 81-90. After third goal, where he is really caught up in his competition. He's off the front of the ring. He's 4 for 12 at the junction. Like a favorite from this after he gets on his gear.
going. They're like the Indianapolis Colts. People not going to believe they're good enough until they do it in the playoffs. They're powerful in the center. They're one right there.
They're not considering player playing in the history of the NBA. So it's a 2-point Dallas lead. And the Celtics bring it up court to Larry Bird. Plus 3. And Larry Bird! Two-point shot from 4 seconds to go! And the Celtics lead by 1!
You're very surprised because they hate losing.
Hello everyone, it's Go For It Randy again. Hey listen, I just wanted to show you some more proof that extraterrestrials have been here on Earth, because a lot of people just have a lot of critical thought around this subject. I know it's kind of hard to wrap your brain around it, but the bottom line is there's undeniable proof all over the place. All you have to do is open your eyes and look around and you'll find the proof that's out there. Do you know what you're looking at right now? You're looking at the exact center of the surface of Earth. How do I know that? Well, it's real simple. All you have to do is take the longest longitudinal line and the longest latitudinal line, and what you'll find is there is something that is absolutely incredible that's right at the center of the Earth's surface. Do you know what's there? It's right here. You're looking at it right now. Tell you what, let's get a little different perspective on this, and maybe if we look at this from a little different perspective, you might be able to get the real big picture here, because sometimes people need to take a look at the big picture in order to really get what's going on. What you're looking at is the Great Pyramid in Giza in Egypt. And if you look at the pyramid, this is the most incredible structure on planet Earth. The pyramid has a footprint of 13 acres. So that footprint of the Great Pyramid at Giza in Egypt is 13 acres. And the bottom line is, if you measure it exactly the center of these 13 acres, you'll find out that the top of the pyramid is only about a half an inch off of being perfectly aligned with these whole 13 acres that they used to build the Great Pyramid in Egypt. Now, they used 2,300,000 stones that were so big, they were 2 or 3 tons, most of the stones. And you can't even fit a credit card in between each one of the stones. They're so tight-fitting. Not only that, they have all kinds of tunnels and things inside there that are lined with astronomical. You can clearly see that it's lined up with true north. Here's the north face, north. Here's the south, east, and west. And you can tell that this was in the morning because the sunlight is here. So this picture was taken, satellite picture was taken in the morning because this is the east. And the bottom line is, this is the most incredible structure on Earth. How did they know 6,000 years ago where to build it? I'll tell you how they knew. Someone had to tell them where the exact center of Earth is, because there's no possible way Egyptians could have known and measured out exactly on Earth to find out where the center of Earth is. There's only one possible way that you could know where the center of Earth is, and it's really simple. I mean, most people can figure this out on their own. I mean, it's really not that difficult to figure this out. I mean, anyone with intelligence can just take one simple look, and you can see this all for yourself. There's only one possible way that you could know where the center of Earth is, and the only way you could do is just travel around Earth in space and look back at Earth. And while you're looking back at Earth and take precise measurements, that is the only way you could find out where the exact center of Earth is in Cairo, where they built the Great Pyramids in Egypt. Now, I don't know if that isn't proof enough. I don't know what to tell you, because there's no possible way that people travel all over the world with tape measures to measure exactly how far and the longitudinal lines and the latitudinal line, and look back at Earth and take a picture and actually measure exactly precisely where the center of Earth is. And I don't know about you, but I can only fathom one possible scenario there, and that's that aliens came down to Earth and showed people in Egypt exactly where to build the pyramids. It's that simple. You don't have to think too much about this. The bottom line is, aliens have been coming to Earth for thousands of years. Aliens are real, and this is just one more step in the proof system of exactly building the case for aliens are real, and aliens have been coming to Earth for a long, long time. Thank you very much for watching, guys.
Be sure to check out my second channel called Rob Explains. There you can check out videos where I explain things outside of comic books. What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and welcome back, I say. Welcome back. Welcome to Top 5 Tuesdays, a weekly series where we count down the top 5 characters, teams, and concepts from across the comic book industry. And this week, we're going to be counting down the top 5 most powerful items in the Marvel Universe. So number 5 on our list comes in the form of the Ultimate Nullifier. Initially appearing in Fantastic Four number 50 as part of the Galactus trilogy, the Ultimate Nullifier was located by Johnny Storm at the request of Uatu the Watcher as the only known method of forcing Galactus away from the planet Earth. While the history of the artifact is largely unknown, the precious little information that we have is smattered about the Marvel Universe in bits and pieces. While rarely ever used in the Marvel comics, the Ultimate Nullifier seems to have been created by Galactus himself, and its power is relative to those who are wielding it. For example, in the original Sin event, one of the Mindless Ones, a member of a race of beings from another dimension that has incredible strength but doesn't have any real thinking power, basically uses the Ultimate Nullifier to destroy itself, and when it does, it creates what's equivalent to a nuclear explosion. However, in Fantastic Four Volume 3, issue number 50, Abraxas, who is the amalgamation of evil that arose when Galactus of the main Marvel Universe was destroyed, this character Abraxas was able to use the Ultimate Nullifier to wipe out entire realities and actually create new realities. And so because the Ultimate Nullifier has the potential to eliminate realities entirely, what we know is the Ultimate Nullifier is kept under lock and key at virtually all times. Because it's never used, it's usually kept within the safe confines of the watchtower of Uatu the Watcher, or else sometimes it's found within the ship of Galactus himself. But regardless of the circumstances, the Ultimate Nullifier is one of the last-ditch effort kind of weapons that various superheroes or even villains can use if the need arises for it. So coming in at number 4 on our list is the Cosmic Cube. Initially appearing in Tales of Suspense number 79 in 1966, but achieving mainstream popularity with the Cosmic Cube event coinciding with the first appearance of Thanos, the Cosmic Cube is the result of energy stored in the negative zone by the Beyonders being harnessed into a cube form, and is actually subject to the will of its user. What I mean here is that during the Cosmic Cube event where Thanos was able to capture the Cosmic Cube and use it, it was actually established as being able to fulfill the heart's desires of the wielder, which basically allowed Thanos to become one with the universe itself. However, the cube was presumably drained of all of its power, and ultimately it was destroyed by Marvel of the Kree, and so this resulted in a depowered Thanos just kind of being stranded and stuck out in space. In addition to this, while the various cosmic cubes have appeared over the course of the Marvel Universe and its continuity, in Fantastic Four, issue number 319, it was revealed that over time the cosmic cubes will actually evolve into sentient beings of immense power, although we don't really know what these beings do or where they go once they reach their true potential. So rounding out our list at the number 3 spot is the Cosmic Control Rod. Initially appearing in Fantastic Four Annual issue number 6 in 1968, the Cosmic Control Rod is an artifact of incredible power that's actually capable of manipulating the molecular structure of all matter in any given universe that it happens to be in. With its introduction into Marvel Comics as a means to save Susan Storm during the birthing process of Franklin Richards, the Cosmic Control Rod was actually stolen by Reed Richards, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm's The Thing from the villain Annihilus in the Negative Zone. The result was that Reed's use of the Cosmic Control Rod not only allowed Susan Storm to survive and give birth to Franklin Richards, but also seems to be the reason why Franklin Richards has such vast powers that allow him to warp all of reality. So coming in at number 2 on our list is none other than the fan favorite, the Infinity Gauntlet. Making its first appearance during the Infinity Gauntlet event itself, the gauntlet is actually the glove of Thanos, with 5 Infinity Gems being positioned on each knuckle, and with the 6th gem being positioned on the back of the hand. Due to the vast power of the Infinity Stones and their ability to allow its user to manipulate all facets of the universe, Thanos was able to use the Infinity Gauntlet to eliminate half the life in the universe by snapping his fingers, defeat an entire contingent of the universe's most powerful heroes, and even replace the cosmic entity Eternity at the top of the pantheon of the Marvel mainstream Earth 616 universe. The power of the Infinity Gauntlet was so great, in fact, that following the Infinity Gauntlet event, the Living Tribunal, who exists to maintain balance in all realities, ordered the Infinity Gauntlet to be dispersed and to never again be assembled except for times of extreme need. So with the Infinity Gauntlet and its vast power being ranked at number 2 on our list, the question becomes, what's number 1? Well, for me, the most powerful item in the Marvel Universe actually comes in the form of the heart of the universe itself. During the events of Marvel The End, Thanos was successfully able to gain absolute power in the Marvel Universe once again. As it was described by Thanos, where the Infinity Gauntlet allows its wielder to manipulate the concepts of the universe, for lack of a better word, the heart actually allows its wielder to become one with everyone and everything in the universe. And so after realizing that a fault existed which would result in the destruction of this universe, Thanos uses the heart to eliminate all life and even destroy the universe in its entirety. However, when Adam Warlock appears before Thanos, having existed outside of the main universe, Adam Warlock convinces Thanos to set everything back to normal, which he does. This is the power of the heart of the universe. Thanos wasn't defeated, he simply just kind of gave up and just set everything back. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring this video to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
From UFOs to ghost and psychic powers, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now and learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy are 2 of the most popular presidents in U.S. history. They were also both assassinated. Lincoln was shot in Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. on April 14, 1865, by an actor named John Wilkes Booth. On November 22, Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. While each of these tragic events altered the course of the nation, political assassinations are not an uncommon occurrence throughout the world. These deaths may be the inevitable result of a power shift, a coup d'etat, or scapegoating. But to some conspiracy theorists, the deaths of Lincoln and Kennedy aren't just disturbing, they are related. Here's where it gets crazy. Some conspiracy theorists believe that financial interests arranged for the assassination of these presidents. In Kennedy's case, they argue that he was murdered because of Executive Order 11110 from June 4, 1963, which authorized the U.S. Treasury to issue silver certificates and to coin standard silver dollars. To these conspiracies, the central issue here is of creating cash from the Federal Reserve, which charges interest to the government when it issues currency. In Lincoln's case, David W. Balsinger and Charles E. Selyer Jr. argue that he was shot, at least partially, because of disagreements with international banking interest over the financing of the Civil War. Lincoln, allegedly rejecting the high interest rates set by the Bank of England and other financiers, worked with Congress to authorize the printing of greenbacks to pay for the war effort, ultimately According to these conspiracies, 2 U.S. presidents were killed for financial reasons as much as ideological differences. But could this actually be true? It is true that private financial entities have ousted world leaders in the past. In 1893, a group of businessmen and property owners banded together to create the Committee for Safety and overthrow the Hawaiian monarchy, eventually annexing the nation into the United States. Further examples may be seen in Guatemala and Honduras, where the United Fruit Company wielded deadly power with political and occasionally military support from the U.S. These countries were not annexed politically, but United Fruit used its influence to determine the country's leaders. In Economic Hitman, John Perkins claims that he was hired by the firm known as Chastity Maine to trap 4 countries in debt, using underhanded methods to strong-arm these nations into privatizing resources and following the commands of the developed world. Yet undue corruption is not the same thing as assassination, and skeptics are also quick to point out several inconsistencies in these theories. In both cases, numerous factions wanted the president out of the picture. There is no solid proof connecting the issuance of greenbacks or Kennedy dollars to their assassinations. While it is true that questions remain regarding both murders, these events have become part of American folklore. With time, increasingly exaggerated connections and coincidences are bound to be touted as fact. Is there a grain of truth somewhere in the theory? Given that 4 of the 44 U.S. presidents have been assassinated, the fatality rate seems surprisingly high. Yet political figures across the planet are inherently in dangerous positions, especially in times of domestic instability or financial upheaval. Assassinations, coup d'etat, and forced depositions are all too common in the turbulent world of international politics. And it's no secret that in the past, large private organizations have used their economic clout to change the state of a country's government. But does this still happen today? Skeptics maintain that the Kennedy and Lincoln assassinations, like those of most world leaders, were not orchestrated by any international banking cartel. The sheer level of organization and secrecy required would make the task impossible. But to conspiracy theorists, there's only one important question: who's next? From UFOs to psychic powers and government conspiracies, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now, or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. Facebook is enormous. As of 2012, there are more than 800 million members. Each day, millions of people log in for an average of 20 minutes to share their thoughts, locations, and more. More than 1 million websites have Facebook integration and offer the ability to use your Facebook ID on their own sites. Whether you're a Facebook fan or try to avoid it completely, there's no denying this website is a runaway success. But for whom? Its most public face is founder Mark Zuckerberg, but some conspiracy theorists believe Facebook has another master, the US government. Here's where it gets crazy. The conspiracy claim is this, that Facebook is either a front for or in cahoots with DARPA, the NSA, or the CIA, and that they use this site to obsessively monitor the online activity of Facebook members. So why do people believe this story? First, it's true that Facebook is a massive surveillance tool, but it's an opt-in, voluntary tool for advertisers. Facebook makes the bulk of its revenue by selling targeted advertising deals. Second, parts of the US government have already been caught taking dodgy steps with individual privacy. Consider that the NSA has been repeatedly criticized for amassing loads of data from cell phone companies without the knowledge or consent of cell phone users. With this in mind, it doesn't seem quite as unreasonable that a government agency might want access to Facebook data. So we have two indisputably true claims. But these two facts alone don't establish a conspiracy. There's no link. For theorists, that connection is found in the story of investors Peter Thiel and James Breyer. Both men invested when Facebook was in its infancy. Thiel, the founder of PayPal, gave Facebook $500,000 in 2004. Breyer came along in 2005. His venture capital firm invested around $12.7 million, and he personally invested $1 million. James Breyer was formerly a board member of a company called In-Q-Tel, which works to accelerate the intelligence community's access to cutting-edge technology. In-Q-Tel was originally associated with the CIA, and George Tenet, former CIA director, explains this relationship between the organizations in his book, At the Center of the Storm. In some ways, this seems like a case of guilt by association. Yet when this theory is discussed, Breyer is often trotted out as a key piece of evidence. There's no denying the information